Hi there, this is Datila with Rangers of Wrestling, bringing the Wrestling Time Post Show. And for tonight, I will be reviewing Hell in a Cell. Alright, so let's talk about Cody Rhodes for a second. Okay, so Cody Rhodes was injured before his start of the match with Seth Rollins. And one of the things that I thought was kind of weird was throughout the show, WWE kept plugging that he was injured, that he had injured him. I think they said that he had injured himself in against Seth when Seth Rollins attacked him, but then he got even more injured after he was training and preparing for this match. So the fact that they kept mentioning that throughout the night kind of made me think that it was a work. And it also made me think that maybe something was going to happen during the match, like maybe Cody was going to lose or something, because they just kept telling us that throughout the whole night. And I thought that was kind of odd. I really did think that. What about you guys? What did you guys think of this whole situation? But yeah, that whole injury was just a work. Really? Yeah, I thought it just seemed really weird that they kept telling us that throughout the whole night. I mean, you would think that if he was legitimately injured and the way they described the injury, they would have pulled him from the match. But I just kept thinking to myself, like, no way. Like, I'll see it when I believe it. And then I saw it during the show, during the match, like after he took off his like jacket, and like you can see it. You could see like the bruising and stuff. And part of me kind of still was like, is this a work? Okay, give me 1 second, you guys. Okay, I do apologize. Sorry, just hectic stuff going on. But like I was saying, I don't know. I just thought it was kind of a work because it just felt odd to me that they kept mentioning it throughout the whole night. So yeah, but I don't know. And I there was also part of me that was kind of like, are they mocking CM Punk for this? Because you guys know CM Punk on Dynamite was like, oh, that he's injured and stuff. I thought the review. No, it wasn't over. Just a busy household. That's all it is. Worst wrestling ever tonight. I'm going to. Okay. So, yeah, so I kind of also thought that maybe they were doing this to Moxie and Punk, but I don't know. I mean, to me, it seemed like he was legitimately injured. I mean, I don't know how you can fake that. I really don't, but I guess we have to wait and see. But that match with Seth Rollins was actually pretty good. Like, I really enjoyed it. It's probably one of my favorite 2 matches of the night. Like, the thing that I liked was that Seth Rollins was dressed as Dusty Rhodes. Like, I heard like the fact that he came out with the black attire and then the polka dots, like, yeah, he was definitely mocking Dusty Rhodes. Also, too, like, I really like the fact that he used the sledgehammer. Roman versus Cody will be awesome. Yeah, when it happens, but I'm a little worried about that match when it does happen. I think my favorite spot in this match was when when Cody grabbed like that bull rope. Cody devolved into Triple H tonight. Pec injury, sledgehammer, pedigree on Triple H's prodigy Seth. Wow, yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you had the pedigree. And then you had him use the sledgehammer. I mean, he beat him with the 2 crossroads and a sledgehammer to the face. That was actually an epic way to like end the match. But I honestly thought he was going to go for the 3rd crossroads, but he didn't. So, oh my god, like another spot that I thought was going to happen was like you saw Seth Rollins pull that bag, and part of me was like, is that thumbtacks? I don't think they're gonna use thumbtacks. When he pulled it out, it was like the belt, and it said visionary with the polka dots. So again, Seth Rollins adding insult to injury. But yeah, so I honestly like have to think like if Cody Rhodes is legitimately injured and is not a work or anything, then Cody Rhodes still delivered in this main event match. Like he seriously did, especially for him to have that type of injury. Still managed to hit the crossroads and hit Seth Rollins with the pedigree. Like yeah, there's when Seth Rollins hit that curb stomp, I legit thought it was over. But no, I was also so worried that they were selling this injury to make Cody lose against Seth, so that when Cody would lose against Seth, people wouldn't be upset because, like, hello, the man is injured, but he still won. So now I'm curious to see what happens and where we go from here. I thought Seth getting that bag was going to include that. Yeah, I thought that too. So, but it was a great main event. Great main event. Cody Rhodes winning. So this. Was a good main event. All right. So, Hell in a Cell kicked off with an incredible triple threat match. It was for the Raw Women's. Let me see. It's a shoot. He has to be the babyface to default. Really? I guess we gotta wait and see. All right. So, like I was saying, Hell in a Cell kicked off with a triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship. It was Asuka versus Bianca Belair versus Becky Lynch. Now, I have to say, when this match was first announced, I was upset by the fact that I felt like there was no need to include Becky Lynch in this match because I wanted to see a one-on-one match between Bianca Belair and Asuka, which we got a preview of it on Raw. It was like, what, a 10-minute preview? So I wanted to see more. But honestly, this match freaking delivered. It delivered. But I felt for Asuka because I felt like she took the beating. She took the most beatings in this match. Okay, so I really like that double pin that Bianca did to Becky and to Asuka. That was pretty cool. I like the double hip attack to Becky and Bianca that Asuka did, and then the fact that she put them in a double ankle lock, like that was a really cool spot. Nick said Becky because Lady Gaga. That is hilarious. Yeah, because Becky with that outfit, I don't know where she got her outfit from, but yeah, she definitely looked like Lady Gaga. So those are some cool spots in that match. Okay, so I have to say, I really like how the match ended. You had Becky Lynch pinning Asuka, and then Bianca came in and she stole it. But to be fair, this is something Becky Lynch would have done herself. She loved Asuka's Jason Voorhees kabuki mask. I didn't even notice that. So, but like it was just the look on Becky Lynch's face after she did that was like she looked crazy. But it was honestly I really liked the finish because it made sense. It made perfect sense. Because like I said, Becky Lynch would have done that same thing to Bianca. So no surprise there. Then we had the 2-on-1 handicap match. It was Omos an MVP versus Bobby Lashley. And honestly, this match was a sleeper. I really didn't care for this match. I mean, you opened the pay-per-view with such a great match, and then you give us this? It's like, come on now. Like, really? Really? Well, I don't know what they were thinking, but I really didn't care for this match. Bobby Lashley won after he put MVP in the Hurt Lock. I don't know where MVP, Omos, and Bobby Lashley go from here. I really just hope this feud is over. Then we had Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. Let me see. I hope Lashley and Omos feud is over after. Yeah, me too, definitely. So I kind of was digging this match, but the thing is, I'm kind of confused as to why did Kevin Owens win. I mean, I think it would have said something if Ezekiel won instead of Kevin Owens, but instead you got Kevin Owens winning. It's like I didn't get that. I didn't get that booking finish. Another sleeper match. Owen, you thought it was a sleeper match? It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't too bad, I guess you can say. All right. So then after this, we had the 6-person mixed tag match. It was Judgment Day versus AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. Now, this match wasn't too bad. I actually really like the fact that Judgment Day worked really well together. I feel like they were a much better team as opposed to AJ Styles, Liv Morgan, and Finn Balor. I mean, Rhea Ripley was getting in there. She caused distractions for her group, like twice, I believe. I like that there was two brawls that took place during this match. Let's see. KO deserves better. He faced Stone Cold and Mania. Yeah, he's making that moolah, so I'm pretty sure he does deserve better, though. So at one point, Priest pulls AJ Styles off Edge. Let me see. WWE missed an opportunity to have Balor screw Morgan and Styles and become the 4th member of Judgment Day. They've been teasing a 4th member for like the longest time now, and nothing has happened. I know. I think it was reported that Tommaso Ciampa was supposed to join Judgment Day as a 4th member, but that has yet to happen. It really does. So I honestly don't know where they would go from here. I don't. But like again, one of the spots that I like was when Finn Balor caught Edge mid spear. Like that was a cool spot. And then Rhea tried to stop Finn Balor. And then Edge, that was enough for allowed Edge to spear Finn Balor. And then allow Judgment Day to be victorious. So again, I don't think this feud is over. I think it's just beginning. So now what do you think the final match is going to be? You think it's going to be a steel cage match? I know we just had a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, but could we potentially have a Hell in a Cell pay-per-view? I mean, a Hell in a Cell match or Street Fight? What do you guys think the final match between this? Because this feud clearly is not over after this finish. It's not. All right. So then we had a No Holds Barred match. And it's Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin. And I have to say, like, before I continue with the review of the match, I have to say, like, I know I said this during the SmackDown review, and I'm going to say it again. To me, it seemed like Happy Corbin versus Madcap Moss was kind of like a watered-down version of Wardlow and MJF. Steel Cage would be a much better. Yeah, I definitely do agree. Steel Cage for the Judgment Day. So I did feel that way. What do you guys think? You guys think this is kind of like Wardlow and MJF? Obviously not as good as Wardlow and MJF. Needs more than one cell match. You think? But I just got those vibes. Like Happy Corbin to me is like MJF, and Madcap Moss is Wardlow. Now I don't want to say I was disappointed in this match. They could have done more because it's just no holds barred, but they really put an emphasis on them using steel chairs, which I guess in a way makes sense because if you recall, Happy Corbin did take out Madcap Moss with a steel chair. So I guess that makes sense, but you could tell the crowd wanted a table because they were chanting tables, tables. It's more garbage version of MJF and Wardlow. Well, if you want to put it that way. All right. So Madcap Moss, like, he ends up crashing into the steel steps. But at one point, like, he pretty much does to Baron Corbin what Baron Corbin did to him. He puts the chair around his neck, and then he takes like steel steps and squashes how is that was actually good. No, I think what he's saying is that Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin is the garbage version of Wardlow and MJF. I think that's what he's saying. But anywho, like, the finish made totally sense. Like, Madcap Moss needed to win this, and so I hope we can move on from this feud. And I'm curious to see where Madcap Moss goes from here and what happens next. Clearly, that's what I said, that you were talking about that match. Obviously, he's a face here, but damn, Madcap Moss jacked up. Like, after he lost those suspenders, yeah, definitely, he increased. All right, then we had the U.S. title match, and it was Mustafa Ali versus Theory. Oh, wow, what can I say about this? Mustafa Ali coming out with Chicago-themed gear. They were in his hometown. His wife, children, family were in attendance. If that's not a recipe for losing in your hometown, I don't know what is. The one thing I am happy about is that it wasn't a squash match. I'm really glad they didn't send Mustafa Ali out there and like the match ended in like 2 minutes. Chicago saw their hometown hero job. Yeah, they did. But I saw that coming. I could have told you that. Like, honestly, like, I don't want to say it wasn't a great match. It was an okay match. It was a decent match. But I think we all knew Mustafa Ali was losing this. I mean, come on, you guys know WWE definitely likes to have wrestlers lose in their hometowns, and this was a big one. I mean, they said Mustafa Ali, Chicago born, all that gear. I knew he was gonna lose, but I said at least it wasn't a squash match. Could have been worse, right? And then it was the main event. It was a Hell in a Cell match. Cody Rhodes versus Seth freaking Rollins. I talked about this in the beginning, but I'm just going to re-talk about it a little bit in case you guys missed it. So, you had Seth Rollins come out with a Dusty Rhodes-inspired attire, which I thought was pretty cool. WWE needs to stop being petty, release Ali, and he would be better elsewhere, and he'd be used. That's not going to happen, though. They're not going to release him. So, like I said, when he took off the jacket, you saw the injury. So that's when I kind of lost my skepticism a little bit, because I really did think it was kind of a work. But I don't know. I mean, he still rocked. It still was a great match. But now I really want to know what's going to happen next. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but yeah, I guess tuning into Raw would probably be the best way to find out what's going to happen. I mean, is Cody Rhodes going to take time off? Dusty Rhodes impersonation, do it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a Dusty Rhodes impersonation, not on here. Not yet, anyways. But it was still a good match. I mean, if he is legitimately injured, he sold that injury. There were moments where, like, you could see he tried to pick up Seth, but he couldn't because his arm gave out. And the crowd was really happy. I think the reason why they were chanting "Thank you, Seth" was because Seth gave him a table after they had previously chanted tables, and they weren't given a table. So I think that's the only reason why they were chanting "Thank you, Seth." Thank you, Seth. But nevertheless, overall, I thought it was a great match. I only have 2 favorite matches, and it's a women's match and it's the main event. Other than that, the matches were okay. Wasn't too terrible of a pay-per-view. So overall, what would I give this pay-per-view out of 10? Rating for this show, a 4 out of 10. Really? A 4 out of 10? Why a 4 out of 10? But me personally, I think I would give it a 6 out of 10. Just because I did like the women's match, the main event, U.S. title match, despite the fact that it was predictable. I'm really happy it just wasn't a squash match. 6-person tag match was alright. Wasn't too bad. No holds barred match, I felt like it felt a little flat. But the ending made sense, so I'm okay with that. KO versus Ezekiel, I'm kind of questioning as to why KO went over Ezekiel. And a 2-on-1 handicap match, I could care less for. So overall, I thought it was a pretty decent pay-per-view. But nevertheless, you guys, this week for me has been like, I know I haven't been live streaming as much this week, but like I had a very busy week. For those of you who have been keeping up with me, like I had one of the best weeks of my life. I went to Double or Nothing. I went to Dynamite. I went to LAX Fan Fest. I met the Hardy Boys, and like I don't know, um, it's just like, see, there's me and the Hardy Boys right there, and I met Rakishi. He's right there in the corner. So it was a really great week for me. Let's see, Nick saying that's awesome. Yeah, skipping Raw tomorrow, taking a break from that awful show. You're lucky. But with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I do apologize for leaving the stream for a little bit. I had some business I had to attend to. But thank you guys all so much for watching and for your continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or I release a new video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow after Monday Night Raw. Bye.